Hello, it is Sunday afternoon right now, and I've had a pretty good sales weekend, so I have quite a lot of packing to do today. So I've been making some kind of an effort to have a little bit of a work-life balance, and I'm trying my best to not do much eBay work on Saturdays, so I can at least have one day where I don't have to do anything related to this eBay business. So I didn't do any packing yesterday, so all of that stuff has to get done tonight to be ready to ship out tomorrow. So I'm gonna go into the kitchen in a little bit to my packing bench, and I'll just put a timer on for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I'll get as much packing as I can get done in that amount of time. And then I'll come back in here to the photo booth, and I'm going to start taking pictures of new items that are going to be hitting my shop. And I'm going to show you all of this stuff in a second, everything that I picked up Friday and Saturday that's ready to list now. So I'll come back in here, do photos for 10 or 15, 20 minutes, and then I'm going to go back upstairs, chill out for half an hour or whatever, relax, and then come back down and do it again. Because I just like I don't want to just be packing, packing, packing. So I'll leave out the photo sessions, but I'll show you everything that gets packed today. Yeah, there is a lot to do, so I don't want to just spend a lot of time just chatting. So let's get ready to see everything new that's hitting my shop in the next couple of days. Okay, everything you see here I picked up Friday at the Salvation Army or the Goodwill, and then I made another Goodwill trip to a different store on Saturday morning. So a few of those things I showed you already, but this is the bulk of it now. And I'm going to take pictures of all this stuff today, get it all listed, and try to get it out of here as quickly as possible. Then we'll go and pack. So let's just go through some of this stuff now. Okay, first thing, I have one of these catchphrase games. These have done pretty well for me, but every one that I've sold has been not necessarily new, but in the box. This one is just free, loose and free, but I thought, oh, it's a Scrabble edition. Maybe that's something a little bit special. They only had $1.99 on this at the Goodwill, so I grabbed it. And it's not really worth too much. I think I'll just get it listed. I put batteries in it, tested it already, so I'll get it listed and I'll try to sell it for 13 bucks. I picked up this called a stink finder. It's basically just a black light and then a pet stain remover. And I think it was like $2.15. And I was thinking like I might just have use for a black light. I've got a little like LED powered black light right here that I use sometimes to show uranium glass. And we have a small flashlight upstairs that Jessica bought when she was worried about Pineapple, our dog, maybe peeing around the house some. Um, she's worried about that more than I am, but I thought maybe we could have use for another blacklight, and it looks like an older blacklight, like, a fluorescent tube probably is better quality than the ones that we have, but I don't think we probably need it, so I'm going to just go ahead and list it. And it's not that valuable. Like I said, I paid $2.15 for it. I'm going to list it for $19.99, but I have a suspicion it's going to take some lowering the price to get that sold, so maybe we'll get 16 bucks for it. Here's a Toastmaster brand vintage waffle iron. It's like a Belgian waffle one. I can hear, when I tilt it around, I can hear something rattling around in there. So I'm going to have to take this bottom off and see if I can find out well, maybe I'll just plug it in, make sure it works before I get too ahead of myself. But if this does work, it's not incredibly valuable, but it should sell pretty quickly. It's not super vintage either. Like an older one would probably sell better, but it does have this nice vintage detail, like retro detail on it. I paid $5 for it. I think it's going to be worth $22.99 or 20, maybe 25 if I'm lucky, but we got to make sure it works first. I got a bunch of Fiestaware bowls. I'm not really that fond of Fiestaware. I don't. It's so heavy, and I don't really like packing it. Actually, one of the things that's going to get packed today is a big stack of mixed color Fiestaware. But I saw this on the shelf at the Goodwill, and I walked past it, and then I kept thinking about it, like maybe that's a color that's valuable. It's essentially like if you can find a color that's discontinued, those are the ones you want to get your hands on. They're a little bit more valuable than ones that they still make. So I think this color is called apricot, and I can't remember when it was discontinued, somewhere in the 2000s, I think. So it's retired. They don't make this anymore, so it does have some value. Not an incredible amount of value, but I got 8 of these bowls. I'm going to sell those in 2 separate lots because I don't really want to ship a stack of bowls this tall. I'll just ship a small stack of 4 bowls. But together, the 8 bowls I paid, I think 16. I think I paid $8 per stack, $2 per bowl. And so I'll sell these for like 45 each and hopefully make 90, sell them for 90 total. I also got these plates. These are the ones that got me thinking about going back to buy them. So the plates, dinner plates are always a little bit better than other kind of dishes in my opinion because they get used more often and therefore they get broken more often and people are looking for replacements of just, standard size dinner plates. This one still has a little bit of the price sticker on it, so I'll have to try to get that off. But there's 8 plates here. I'm gonna sell these all together and I think I can get 120 for them, and I think I paid 24. Yeah, they were $3 a piece, so I paid $24 for these. So I'll try to turn $24 into 120, hopefully. We might end up having to take an offer on those, but we'll try it. Try to get 120 and see how we do. Next up, I have this little small stack of plates. These are like salad plates, so not quite as desirable as the dinner plates in my opinion. But they're a Crate and Barrel brand, made in Italy. They've got more markings stamped here, but I can't really read it. It's embossed into there. I had 6 of these, and I guess I didn't look at them that closely because when I got them home, I realized that 2 of them had chips on the edges. Oh, there's another one that has a chip. Well, I just found a 3rd chip, so this was a big mistake. I should not have bought these. There's another chip. These are all garbage. This is going to end up in the trash. Maybe I'll try to sell 2 of them, but I can't sell these ones with chips. So, oh, there's another chip. Okay, I got 1 plate. I'm throwing all these in the garbage. So there you go. There's a lesson. Spend a little bit more time checking stuff out more carefully at the thrift stores. If there's something about the lighting in those stores that makes it pretty difficult to see things, and I usually run my fingers all around the edges, and that's what I did, but those chips were a little bit further under. So anyway, those are garbage, and I didn't even realize it until just now. So that sucks. I got this Mickey Mouse bowl. This came from the Goodwill, and I think it was $1. And it's not a very valuable bowl, maybe $16 to $20, but should sell pretty quickly, I think. And doesn't have any chips on it, so that's good. I've got this Hello Kitty backpack. It's got a little bit of dirt on it, so I'm gonna have to just lightly try to clean this off. It maybe isn't valuable enough to mess around with that. I paid $5 for it, and it's really only worth like 16. Like if it was brand new with the tags or whatever, it's probably 24. That's all the ones that I've seen are brand new and they sold for like 24. So I think that I'm just going to list this one at like between 16 and 19 and try to get that $5 back. Probably another bad buy I shouldn't have gotten. These are like borderline bad buys here. These are Wagner cast iron frying pans, and this one I looked up and I saw some that have this exact same. These have like instructions on how to season it and take care of it. And it says Wagner's 1891. I saw one exactly like this that sold for 70, but they don't regularly sell for that amount. They're more like 40 to 45. These aren't like real vintage. I guess they are vintage at this point, but they're not antiques. Like this would have been made in 1991 for the anniversary of the 1891 founding of the Wagner's company. So if this was a real antique one, it's worth a lot more, maybe hundreds of dollars. This 1990s one, yeah, maybe probably $37 on it. It's an 8-inch pan. And this is also Wagner, and it's pretty nice. It has a nice clean flat surface. Both of these are pretty greasy, and I probably need to clean them a little bit more. There's like all kinds of fuzz and lint sticking to them, so I'm gonna have to use a degreaser on these to clean them before I can sell them. This one is Wagner's. It's unmarked except for a W here in the handle and a W right here on the pan bottom. This is a 9-inch skillet. So again, probably $37. If it was like, sometimes people buy these that aren't super old, but they're still high quality pans, and they refinish them, they like, get rid of all of the seasoning and then reseason it and sand out any imperfections or whatever. And then they can sell them for quite a lot, hundreds of dollars. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sell them as they are. One's probably 36, one's probably 37. So not what I was hoping for when I picked them up, but they're still pretty good. I have a bunch of stuff here that I probably shouldn't have bought. These are Federal glass, just little teacups. I don't know if you can see the opalescent, iridescent sheen on this. It's like a rainbow sheen. These are called Moon Glow. That's the pattern name. And I thought they were probably carnival glass, maybe from the 40s or the 50s, but they're later than that, like 60s or 70s, from what I can tell. No saucers. If I had the saucers with these, maybe they're a little bit more valuable, but I think I paid $2. I paid $1 a piece for these, and they are probably gonna go for 17 or 20, hopefully 20. If they had the saucers, probably closer to 30, but I don't have those saucers, so it's fine. This is a souvenir from Burj Khalifa. I don't know if it's still the tallest building in the world, but I think it is. That's in Dubai. And this was only $2, so I thought it was worth the risk. I saw several similar ones to this, but not exactly the same. I can't find one exactly like this, but several similar. That sold for like $20 to $25, so I'm gonna put 21 on this one. I only paid $2 for it. Way back here, this is called a Hamilton Uni stand, and this is for setting up your guitar amplifier. You put this behind your guitar amp so you can lean the amp back and have the speakers pointing up towards your ears. These have a pretty limited sales history. There's currently 2 listed, both of them being sold by Musician's Friend, and there are 2 sold from Musician's Friend, and they sold for $25. So they're brand new, which is different than this. This is in used condition, but I'm still going to try to get $21 for it. I paid $4 for it. I've got a bowling ball back here. I've been kind of going bowling ball crazy. I've got like, I don't know, maybe 9 bowling balls in my inventory right now. This one is a Brunswick Vapor Zone. I paid $2.25 for it, and I'll sell it for about 40 or 42, I think. There's, I don't know, I never really thought about bowling balls before, but they've been selling pretty quickly for me, so I'm happy to pick those up for $4 and sell them for 30 or whatever. Here's Lomo fisheye lens camera. It's called the Fisheye 2. Lomography makes these low quality, cheap, low res film cameras. This one has a roll of film in it, so whoever gets this can develop that and see what's on there. I could consider keeping this for myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. I paid $4 for it. I think it's about $32. Here's a nice jacket. This is from Avis Rent-A-Car, and it is made by Land's End. So this would be like a staff coat, I guess. Made by Land's End, designed by Jeff Banks, whoever that is. He must be somebody special to put his name on the label. I can't find any exact comps of this pure red one, but there are plenty that are like red with blue sleeves or blue with red sleeves or whatever that are selling for around $50 to $75. And I paid $8 for this one, so I think I'll just put it at $55. Try to get that sold. It's a pretty lightweight jacket, so maybe it'll hang around till the spring. And then finally here I have Dr. Clockwork's Violet Wand, which on the back it says, for novelty use only. But there's other brands that sell this exact item. It looks identical to this, and they sell it as if it's like a kind of a medical device, an actual device that you can use for something. I think it may be like an adult toy kind of a situation. It has this wand that just lights up with ultraviolet light. You put one of these things in it, and then you light it up, and then you can put it on your skin. I don't know exactly what it does, but this one comes with a extra. That's good. It has an extra little piece here, so Maybe I should update the listing to say there's an extra, whatever those things are called. But these things sell for, there's very few that have sold on eBay. I think they're pretty rare, relatively rare in this format. They sell for, one has sold for about 160. I think you could still buy them new from the Dr. Clockwork's website for like 150. So I don't know why that one sold for that high, but I'm gonna list this one at like 115 or 120, and I paid 30 for it. So I paid up for quite a bit. It might take a little while to sell, but when it does, we'll get a pretty good profit on it. Okay, that's it as far as new inventory goes. So try to get photos of these items and get them listed as soon as possible. I'm trying to think of which ones of these could be like Christmas oriented. I did make the mistake with those crate and barrel plates, but we'll not worry about it. I'll just throw them in the garbage and get on with my life. So that's it. Let's go grab a few items that need to get packed, get them packed up and ready to ship. All right, I grabbed 7 or 8 things that need to be packed, and I kind of tried to do a mix of easy ones and more difficult ones, so I'm not going to get stuck with all of the tough things all at once. So first thing I have here is just a cardboard box with some Vanity Fair magazines in it. These are just kind of random ones from different years. I don't even remember for sure. No, they're not Vanity Fair. They're Elle magazine, fashion magazine. So I can't remember for sure where I got these. I know I didn't pay for them. Let's see what my notes say. Paid. Okay, this says from Facebook Marketplace. So I do remember I got like a whole big stack of fashion magazines at one time from Facebook Marketplace, and these could have been that. I don't really remember for sure. I'm trying to just make this box a little bit shorter so that it fits these more effectively. And then I got a bunch of these sheets of newsprint yesterday, so I'm going to try to use this up before going back to the rolls of packing paper. Yesterday I did a Facebook Marketplace deal where somebody was giving away this cutting board. So let's see if you can see it. This nice one that's about twice or 3 times as big as the green one I had before. So I've moved the green one over here underneath the scale. Makes the scale a little bit easier to see on camera, I think. Let's try to get this camera set back up again. And then I got that here. So that was a good deal. I went to pick that up, and then they said whoever it was moving, and they were like, "You want anything else?" And sometimes when people say that, I don't really even want the stuff they have, but I just know they need to get rid of it, and they need somebody to help them take things away. So she gave me a whole bunch of what she called art supplies. And it's basically just old like cutouts and clippings from magazines that she thought she might be able to use for collages or something like that. So I took all of that just basically to help her clean her house. I took several big boxes of scraps of paper, and you never know, there might be something interesting in there, but I looked through it a little bit last night, and it is all going into the recycling bin for me. But I think I did her a little service. You know, she has something that she thinks is too good to throw in the garbage, and she doesn't know how to deal with it, and she has to get rid of it because she's moving. Now I've taken it, and I have no qualms. I will throw that away without a second thought. Whoa, this is 8 pounds. So I was talking yesterday about how heavy magazines are, and it's true. I mean, this is 8 pounds, 7 magazines. This is going to be 13 by 11 by probably 3. This one, the measurements on this cutting board are a little harder to see than the ones on the green one, but it's a much nicer board, and I'm happy to have it. It's like 3 times thicker than the one I had before. Okay, Elle magazines. These are going to JS in North Carolina. So get that out of the way. Next up is a book. Deluxe Lives of the Saints. This is a hefty little book about, history of saints. And I got this for $3.30 at the Unique thrift store, and sold it for $50 plus shipping. So I'm gonna wrap it with some bubble wrap, even though it's not gonna do anything. For a $50 item, I hope the buyer will receive this and feel good that is in bubble wrap. but if this box gets crushed, this bubble wrap's not stopping anything. All right, paper, I'll use this. So yeah, she gave me some pads of paper. Some of it was good enough to keep, and some of it was just this old newsprint. So I'm gonna just use this up until it's all gone. It'll probably be all gone today because of how many orders we've got to pack today. And then we'll go back to the rolls of paper over here. All right, this is 2 sheets right here. I want them separate. Okay, $50 book, not too bad. I'm happy with that. So I'll write on this box, Saints. It's gonna be pretty heavy, 3 pounds even. This box is 10 by 11. No, I gotta figure this thing out. 10. Okay, 10 by 8 by 5. And we're gonna ship this to TR in Ohio, so not too far away. Okay, next. Got a CD here. This is the band Striper, was like the heavy metal band. I think this is a new album. Christian heavy metal band. I just got some new bubble mailers, so I'm gonna start using those. I'm also gonna put a piece of cardboard in here as a little extra stiffener, a little piece of extra protection on this envelope. Okay, that doesn't fit. I need to cut some of this off. Try it again. There we go. So that's in there. Seal it up. Oh, these are some cheap bubble mailers. Look at that. Barely even bent it, and it just tore off right in my hand. So I'm gonna have to run some tape across here because I don't trust that envelope a bit. Which sort of defeats the purpose of using the bubble mailer. It's supposed to be fast and easy, but if I'm gonna have to be taping up everyone anyway, whatever. These are ones I got from Menards, and I had a whole fiasco with that Menards trip. So Striper, it's gonna be like 4 ounces. I'm gonna put 5 ounces. We're looking at 8 by 7 by 1, and we're gonna ship this to someone named MB in Oklahoma. All right, next. I have a big box of light bulbs in the garage, so I'm gonna save that for later. We're gonna have to go back for that in a little while. And now I have this book. This is a nice book in a slipcover and everything. Fancy, feels fancy. It's called An Island Garden by Celia Thaxter, with pictures and illuminations by Child Hassan. So, I don't know what this book is. Some kind of a poetic book about gardening, I guess. That's my assumption. I'm just gonna put it in here. Okay, let's go back to the Striper CD. I got that for free and I sold it for $10. We won't make much profit on that, but it was free and it's easy to ship, so it's gone. It's only been listed for a few days. Okay, this book, again, I think this was free. No, I paid $1.32 for this at the Salvation Army, and it sold for $13.99 plus shipping. So, not the best sale ever, but I've got a lot of things on discount right now. 15% and 30% off sales running in my shop. So a lot of this stuff is going a little cheaper than I would have hoped. I'm still taking offers and sending offers too. So I just put that book in between 2 sheets of cardboard, and now I'm going to just tape it together on the edge. Not the fanciest packaging ever, but we're talking about a $13 book, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, we're almost there. This is called An Island Garden. Let's try Island Garden. Weighs, it's gonna be pretty heavy with the slipcase and everything. Almost 2 pounds. This box is 13 by 9 by 2, and it's gonna go to Susan, my friends, one of my early YouTube supporters, Susan in Minnesota. This is a cute book for her. I think she'll like it. Okay, I have a shirt here. This is a polo, Ralph Lauren. It's like a flannel. I'm not gonna take it out of the bag. It's a real heavy flannel, 3XL, so pretty big. And I'm gonna put it in a box because I have one right here and I don't have a good envelope for that. Recently someone was suggesting I should be using poly bags, and I don't disagree with that. I just don't have any. And so I don't really want to buy any. And I have these boxes. They don't have much weight to them, so this shirt will be shipped in a box instead of in a bag. This shirt I got for $1 at a church rummage sale. I think I got 3 3XL polo shirts at that sale, and the other two sold already right away. This one took a little while and it went on an offer, so it's $28 out of a $1 sale. All right, polo on here. It's fairly light. It feels light, but it does weigh 8 pounds. I mean, 2 pounds. And this is 13 by 11 by 3. It's gonna go to J.E. Colorado. I don't usually see the buyers' names until I'm at this point of the process, so I'm always surprised to see people like Susan pop up. Here, I'm going to do another envelope. This is like replacement parts to repair a Conair hair clippers. I had several pairs of clippers and I was trying to repair one pair by taking the other pairs apart, and I ended up breaking all of them. So I just took the parts out that I could recover and then listed them. I figured I was trying to find these parts and I couldn't find them, so there must be other people who would be interested in buying these. And I guess I was right. This is the second or third lot of clipper parts I've sold since then. So here, I guess I'm gonna have to do this every time on these envelopes, which kind of stinks. I'm just gonna write clipper on here. It's gonna weigh nothing. It's not even 1 ounce. And it's going to be 8 by 6, 8 by 6 by 1. This is going to MS in Maryland, MD. Okay, what's next? The only thing I really have here ready to go is this big House of Lloyd nativity set. And this is going to have to, this is going to take a lot of work. So that's kind of why I pulled this one out. So the rest of those were pretty easy. This one was a little bit more difficult. Before we get to that, I already have this bowling ball wrapped up and ready to go, but the buyer was a viewer. So let's go up here and see. This is a buyer named Brian. I mean, a viewer named Brian. And he sent me a message to let me know that he's trying to help me get to my $50,000 goal by buying this bowling ball, which I really appreciate. And I'm going to send him, as a thank you, 2 of these lapel pins I made. So one has the shop logo on it. I don't know if it's too close, you can see it. And the other one has a little illustration of our dog Pineapple. And I'm gonna get a little bag from the other room and put that in here, so I'll be right back. Okay, I just have a tiny little plastic bag. I'm gonna put these 2 pins in here and seal it up and then wrap it up in some newsprint and set it right in here with the ball. There's no other packing materials in here. This is just a bowling ball in a box. I mean, it feels like if a bowling ball needs bubble wrap, it's probably not a very good bowling ball. So we'll get this one sealed up. Thank you, Brian, for the purchase, and thank you for watching. I appreciate both of those things very much. So this is 13 pounds. It's pretty heavy. Going to BTP in Oregon. So a long way for this heavy ball to go. Okay, now I'm going to clear some of this stuff off and make room because I do have this big box that needs to get packaged up next. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to shut this door. The back half of this basement is not heated or really very well insulated. So I'm keeping that door closed for now, even though I prefer to have it open. But right now I need to just get this accomplished. I have this big sheet of cardboard. This is actually a flat pizza box. And I need to put this nativity set in there. You can see what it looks like. I'm not going to take it out of the box, but it looks something like that. I got this at a yard sale last summer, and I expected it to sell last Christmas. I'm trying to figure out where the center of this box is, but it doesn't seem to have one. So I got this for only $15, and I had it listed for $170. It seems like it pretty regularly sells for like $150 to $200, and this one has never been displayed. It's still like in the box. Everything's all wrapped up in there. Never actually been put out on display anywhere. So I thought I should be able to get $170 for it without any problem, but it has been sitting for a little while. And I just started looking at Christmas items as we're, getting pretty close to the deadline for shipping things for Christmas. And I lowered the price on a bunch of Christmassy stuff. So I dropped this down to $129. And then somebody sent me $100 offer, and I felt like I don't really want to accept that offer. It's, you know, this thing is a $200 item most of the time. So they were sending me the $100 offer, and I was replying back with 110 or 115. Yeah, 115. And then they counter offered with 100 again. And then I counter offered with 115 again. And then we just kept going back and forth like that for 3 or 4 days. And they were not willing to come down, and I wasn't willing to, I guess they weren't willing to come up, and I wasn't willing to come down. So eventually I thought, I only paid $15 for this. Christmas is almost here, and the time for shipping Christmas decorations is really, really at the end. And if I don't sell this year, I'm not gonna sell it until next Christmas, and maybe not even then. And I have a goal, you know, I'm trying to get this, I'm trying to reach this $50,000 goal this year. So in the end, even though I really didn't want to, I was feeling like this person is not, you know, I understand haggling, but just saying this is my price and not being willing to move on it when I was willing to move on it it made me think, just out of principle, I don't really want to sell this to them. But I decided I don't want to spite myself to get an extra $15. Even though I sell a lot of stuff that earns me less than $15, that $15 is not meaningless. But in the end, I took the $100 and we'll see how it goes. I hope that we don't have any issues. I wouldn't be surprised if the day after Christmas I got a return request that they wanted to put this on display but not actually own it. That's sort of where I'm afraid things are going. That does happen. I haven't had that happen to me, but I do know that happens where people sort of just rent stuff on eBay. It's pretty rare, but it does happen. Okay, how do I want to do this? I'm gonna get this end cut. Do you want to see this, what I'm doing? Let me turn the camera down. So I put these perforations in here that makes natural fold lines for the cardboard. And now I'm cutting out where the flaps are gonna be. And this is not gonna be necessary anymore. This is not gonna be needed either, so we'll get rid of those. And let's turn this around and we'll do it again. So I'm cutting these flaps, and eventually they will be inside the box somewhere. So those are out. Right now, while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna cut that and this, and the same on this side and here. Okay, this is just garbage. Put this back. Can fold this up, put a line here, and another one here. And we're gonna need another box to complete this one. This piece of cardboard is not big enough to go around this whole box. So I'm gonna have to get another sheet of cardboard and add to the top of this. This is part of the reason why I don't want to sell it for a low amount of money, because of just the amount of work it takes to put it together. So this goes up and over, and now this comes up and over. Fold this up. Let's just use a piece of tape to just kind of tack things in place for now, and then come back and do the top. Okay, I'm gonna go get another sheet of cardboard. I'll be right back. Okay, I had this second piece of cardboard, and I'm just gonna cut some pieces off of it and try to make it appropriate to fit on top of here. So this is gonna have to go, yeah, that's about right. So I need a straight line, whoops. I need a straight line right here. I probably should measure from here to here. From here to here is exactly 4.5 inches. So we'll make a mark here and fold it. So that goes there. This can go this way. Oh, it's too much. It's too big. I never thought I would need a bigger workbench than this, but there are plenty of times when I wish I had more room. So this can go in here, down in here, and then over. Now this is not exactly where I need it to be. One more fold here. No, I might be off camera at this point because I'm so far away. That's there, and then I'm just gonna cut about this much, I guess. And now I have an extra piece to use for something. I'll put it back here behind this refrigerator, and let's get this out of the way. Get this put away. I don't think I need this anymore, and I don't need this right now. Okay, now we got a little more space to work. Whoops. So put that back in where it was. Put these flaps inside. Fold that down, and then this has got to come inside here. and it's a little bit too wide. So cut some of this off. This is going to be the last one I work on, and then I'm going to take a break. These big boxes they take a lot out of you, these big packing projects. So there we go. Now that needs to get back inside. Here, here, here. And now I just need to get it taped up. So I'm gonna tape this up. I think I'm gonna buy labels for all of these ones that I've done already, and then I'm going to go take a nap, I think. Maybe we'll have some lunch or something. And then I'll be back to work on the next round. So stick around for that. All right, I took a little break and now I'm back. I've got about 7 or 8 more items that are gonna get shipped out today. So let's just get started. All right, right here I have this vintage United Colors of Benetton. It's what would you call it? Fragrance, cologne, or perfume. I'm not sure which. I guess it's for men. It says HOMME. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. French for men, right? Oh, it says man on this side. So I'm gonna put it in a bag and tie a knot in case it leaks. I'll try to remember when I buy the labels to choose hazardous materials so that it will be okay to ship, but I might forget to do that. So I have a small box here. This is gonna fit in here just fine. Okay, this little bottle, it's a small little container. It came from my my favorite little lunch break thrift store I go to pretty regularly. And what did I pay for it? $4.40, and it's sold for $37 plus shipping. I think I'm out of. I was trying to hide my bubble wrap for myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some bubble around this bag too. Just I don't know why, but I'm gonna do that. And then mostly it's gonna be protected by packing paper in this small box. So there's one almost finished. I thought this would sell a lot faster, and I thought it would sell for a little bit more. So it ended up going at the 15% off price. Need a marker. I'm gonna write Ben a ton. And here, get a weight on it, which is 8 ounces. This box is 6 by 5 by 5, and it's gonna get shipped to TA in Indiana, so pretty close. Okay, next I've got this right in front of me, so I'm gonna do it next, and I'm gonna wrap it up pretty well. This is is it like a 3rd edition, I think, of The Hobbit? This is probably 3rd American edition. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. It's a little bit rough. The dust jacket has some wear on it, but the book itself is in pretty good shape. I got this at an estate sale, and by the time I averaged out the price I paid of everything, I just let's say I spent $50 there, and then I just took the number of items I bought and made an average cost of goods per item. I got this book for 58 cents, which is pretty cheap. It was just like a situation where the lady was like, just put anything you want, put in a pile, and I'll give you a price. And the price that I was going to offer was pretty much the same as the price that she came up with. I don't remember what it was, but I did get a lot of stuff there. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I was there on a day when we were planning a little road trip, and I didn't have a lot of time to shop because I saw a lot more stuff there that I could have and would have bought if I had the time to dig it out. But it was one of these houses where, you go into the basement and it's totally packed all the way to the ceiling pretty much. So I got a lot of stuff there, paid 58 cents per item, including this book, which I just sold today. Somebody sent an offer. I think I had it at like $89 or $90 or something like that. They sent me an offer for $75, and of course I took it. So here it goes, 58 cents, and we sold it for $75. So that's pretty good. It weighs 2 pounds. This box is what, 11.97, and it's going to JL in Wisconsin. Another pretty close one. Okay, what's next? These shoes. This is a pair of vintage, like super vintage bowling shoes. I think they're probably from I don't know. Maybe they're from the 50s. Maybe they're from the 60s. I don't really know. There's no, the brand is Hyde. I don't know if you can see on the sole, but there's no size on these. So I think they're probably custom made. I put in my listing that they were from the 60s or the 70s. I got these, where did I get these? I got them from an estate sale. I think I was gonna put the Hobbit book in here, but that box is fine. Will they fit in here? These will just fit in here, so maybe we'll do that. Pretty kind of tight, but I think it's better. This is a better box than that one. Anyway, I went to one of those, I've talked about it before, but one of these kind of estate sales where they've already had the sale and then the house is just full of stuff and they need to get it cleaned out so that they can sell the house. And so they just open the doors and say, please come in and take whatever you want. So it was one of those kind of things. And I went in there and one of the first things I saw was bowling balls in the bags. I think they're nice old Brunswick bags, bowling ball bags, and each of those bags also had shoes. So I guess it's people who are pretty serious about bowling back then because they had their own ball, they had their own bag, they had their own shoes, they had everything they needed. So I listed the bags and the balls together, and then I took the shoes out and listed them separately. And they're hard to know. Like, these are probably custom shoes. I don't even know what size they are. I measured the inside of the shoes from the toe to the heel, and I used a chart at Zappos to kind of help determine what the size might be, but it might not be. It might not be either. So I'm hoping somebody's buying these not necessarily because they want to bowl with them, but because they just want to have them in their bowling collection or whatever. Because, I mean, these old shoes, they're probably, if you try to wear them, they probably just crumble, I would guess, but who knows. Anyway, I had them listed. I tried a lot of different prices and I didn't really know what to sell them for, so I just been lowering the price. These are 3 pounds. This box is 11 by 8 by 4. So I tried a lot of different prices, and then finally they sold for $21.99, which I'm happy with that. I mean, I got them for free, so this was all the way back in February of this year. It seems weird to have an estate sale in February, and I don't remember it being cold or anything. These are going to DCB in Indiana, so second Indiana of the day. Maybe there was more earlier. I don't know. All right, I've got a CD. Similar to the last time, I'm going to use one of these bubble mailers. And I've got a little sheet of cardboard I'm going to slide in there. And then slide the CD case in afterwards. And try to seal it up and hope that it sticks. Doesn't feel very sticky, so I'm going to put some tape. All right, this is Lords of Black Mechanics of Predacity 2024 album. I think it's a heavy metal. I think it's probably a German heavy metal group, but it's anybody's guess. 4 ounces. This is 8 by 7 by 1. I gotta get these numbers memorized because I'm gonna be shipping a lot of stuff in these smaller bubble mailers. I have a lot of these now. This is going to RFS in Florida. All right, what's next? This is kind of cool, I guess. These are like string lights you would hang on your porch or whatever. It's got the Diet Coke can for the light bulb shades, I guess. And do I have a box? I do. This will go in one of these boxes. And we'll put some paper in there as well. This is also from my lunch break thrift store. I paid $3 for these and I sold them for $15. I don't remember there being an offer, but 15 even makes it seem like it was probably an offer. I'm sending out offers constantly and I'm receiving a lot of offers. So it's not always easy to remember what's happening with these things, but this must have been an offer. Okay, it's in the box. We'll tape this together, and I'm gonna write Coke on here. 1 pound even, 13 by 11 by 3, and this is going to LC in New York. Okay, I was gonna use this box I put the Hobbit in for this next item, and instead I put the Hobbit in there. So I'm gonna have to go grab another box, and I'm probably gonna have to get 2 boxes because I'm gonna double box this thing. I'll be right back. Here's another box, and let's get it put together. This next item, what did I sell this for? $61. I'm forgetting to tell you how much I sold some of this stuff for. So that CD sold for $10.99. I got it for free, so that's fine. 11 bucks, ain't nothing. This light thing, it's an antique Art Deco bronze and glass light shade. this, I don't know how old it is exactly, but it's pretty old. And I got this at a estate sale. They had some women in the house who were organizing the sale, and they had everything priced, and they were talking to the customers and telling them how much stuff was and whatever. And then they said, there's more in the garage. So I went out to the garage, and there was just two guys out there, and they were just saying, we need to get rid of everything, so just make an offer. We don't care how much it is, just make an offer and take it. So I got a big box full of light fixtures, like light shades and other things, light related. And some of that stuff sold pretty well, like hundreds of dollars. This one's a little bit cheaper because it did sit here long enough to get into the sale. But this is a sort of thing, like if you want it or you need it, you don't have anywhere to get it. This is an old piece of lighting history, and if you want it, if you're trying to do a restoration of your home or something like that, your only choices are eBay, really. Maybe some local restoration, like places where they save houses that are being torn down and they save all of the pieces. There was a shop like that here in Chicago that just went out of business, so I don't know how that kind of stuff can survive these days. But I'm gonna put this in a box and then put this box inside another box. So we gotta get this packed in here pretty tight. All that glass in there is like separate little sheets of glass, and they are gonna be kind of potentially rubbing up against each other. That's why I put that paper inside of it. So we'll close this up, and then I've got another box right here by my feet. It's a little bit bigger, and it's kind of a little bit heavy duty. So even though this is a little bit short, there's not that much space around the sides here. It's gonna have a lot of cardboard to get through before that thing gets damaged. If somebody drops this or throws it or whatever, I think it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna put this in this way. That way we'll get 2 layers of cardboard plus the layers of cardboard on the interior box on the closest side. And then the rest of it is just gonna get filled. This paper is kind of a pain because I like using that roll paper better, but I wanna get rid of this stuff. There it goes on the floor. It's like on this is like on a pad. So each of these sheets has to be separated from the ones around it. Come on. Okay, that's the end of it. So that'll be done. So let's get this one taped up. This box has an awful lot of labels around the outside of it. Oh, this tape stuck to me. This one has a lot of labels, so at least has one big label here, so I'm gonna have to cover that. This is fairly light. Let's get this cut off, whatever this little tail is. Put some more tape here to reinforce the tape that was already used. It's already been through the ringer once. And I guess this goes on the bottom. So I'm using these to cover the label that's on here already. And I'm gonna write here lamp. I don't know, how much does it weigh? 4 pounds, 6 ounces. So 5 pounds. I think it's probably 12. Oh, it's less than 12. 12, 12, 12. And this is going to, this is going to a house. This must be going to like a museum of some kind because of the name of it. I'm not going to say it, but it's in Brooklyn. No, it's not. It's in California. It says Brookside. I thought it said Brooklyn. All right, I've got one more thing here that's going to be a little complicated, so I'm going to move all of these packages out of the way and then get that one done. Okay, this is a big light fixture, IKEA Ranarp. It's like a hanging fixture. You can see on the label there. I'm not opening this. I've got it all filled up with paper. So I am going to do the same thing I did earlier with this sheet of cardboard. So I'm not going to subject you to watching me do that twice. I'm gonna get this one done and then I'll be right back. Okay, so round 2 is done. I'm going to take another little break and then I'll come back and probably finish up everything else. But there have been more orders coming in today, so I might have to do this in 2 more sections. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, here we go. I'm leaving again. Maybe this time I'll take a nap. All right, we're back with another round. This time I'm gonna do 5 orders and then take a little break again, and then we'll come back to finish the final round, hopefully. It's only almost 9 now. So I've been working on this for, I guess, 6 hours on and off. Okay, right in this box, I have a whole bunch of vintage light bulbs, like just regular old Commonwealth Edison. I don't know if Commonwealth Edison would be a national thing or just Illinois. But in Illinois, the power company was Commonwealth Edison, and they used to give away. I guess they wouldn't really give them away, but you could put a little bit of extra on your electric bill each month, and then get a certain number of light bulbs. I remember going to the drugstore with my mom. She would pay for the electric bill in person, and then they would say, "What light bulbs do you want?" And she would get them. The cashier would get them out from underneath the counter and bring her the light bulbs. So I got a ton of light bulbs from a guy who was cleaning his attic on Craigslist. He just gave away all these bulbs, and they're like, technically, you're not really supposed to sell them on eBay because of some kind of energy efficiency policy or something like that. I'm not sure. But I listed them and hoped that they would not catch on, and they did not. So I sold a couple of the boxes like this, and I'm going to try my best. This box is basically the exact same size, and I feel like it needs a little bit more support. So I'm going to try to squeeze these two boxes, this one box inside the other box, and hopefully I can get it in here. But not sure if I will. If I have to tear one side and then tape it back up, then that's what I'll do. But right now I'm trying to fit it. These are two different boxes from two different companies, and I was hoping that one would be a little smaller than the other. This is like an eBay branded box, and this is just a generic box I'm trying to fit it in. So I thought they could be, one might be a little bit bigger, but it feels like it will fit. I'm just gotta keep trying, and then eventually I think I'll squeeze it in there. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I can hear the side splitting open. All right, I'm just gonna cut this open and then retape it. I just want to get, I mean, these are light bulbs. They're lightweight glass items, and they are fragile. They're not going far. It's actually like probably just a few miles from my house, so I don't have to worry about it too much. It's not going to be in the air for very long before it gets delivered. So I'm trying to just make a double wall box basically, and didn't really work the way I wanted it to. But I'm going to take the risk that it's going to be okay with this side split open. I'll just tape that side up. I know I shipped a box exactly like this before. I don't really remember my technique. Maybe there's a video. There probably is a video of me doing it, so I could have gone back and found that, but we'll just assume this will be okay. And we're gonna assume this is gonna go USPS. It is larger, but it's not that big, and it's pretty lightweight, so I think it's gonna go regular post office mail and not UPS. Okay, let's get this split open side reclosed the best I can. And then I think the other corner directly across from this side is a little worse for wear too. So I'm gonna go over there and try to tape that one up. Yeah, see, that one started to split a little bit. So tape that up. This was out in the garage. I was thinking it was a huge box and I couldn't keep it in the house, but there's no real reason for this to be out in the garage. There's plenty of room in here for it. Okay, let's go. Bulbs, 12 by 12 by 12. It's a little bit bigger than that now that I burst the sides open, but I'm gonna go with that 12, 12, 12 anyway. And 7 pounds. It feels much lighter than that. JDV in Illinois. So yeah, this is close by. All right, next. Calling this one done. Next is a DVD set. Game of Thrones Season 7. This is brand new and sealed, still in the box. It comes with an exclusive 45-minute Conquest and Rebellion. So it comes with like an extra DVD on the back. So I don't know if that's a selling point or not. I didn't get too much for this. This Game of Thrones stuff is not that valuable these days. I think that, especially Season 7, people were not too happy with it. So I bought this for $2 at my lunch break thrift store, and I sold it for $13.99 plus shipping. So some paper in here, and we'll seal this up, ship it out. This will be a quick one. Here we go. I watched the first season of Game of Thrones, and that's as far as I went with it. It took me a while to figure out what was going on. I wasn't really paying the closest attention, and I watched the first season and I thought, if I want to watch this, I'm going to have to start over, watch season 1 again, and then move on to season 2. And I didn't feel like I wanted to do that, so I never watched any more of it after that. So that's going to Ohio. Here I have a vintage Texas Instruments calculator. This is like a really old one. They used to have these proprietary batteries on these things. And so if you find one that works, it can be kind of valuable. People collect them. But this one, I didn't have any way to test it. The battery didn't work. And I don't think I have the charger or the case. But I mean the cable to the charger. But I have the case that it came with and the original instruction manual. So I thought it was going to be a little better than this. It only sold for $8.25. But I only paid 34 cents for it. And it says I got it from VD, and I cannot tell you what that means. I have no idea where I got this. Someplace that I decided I would remember what it meant if I just put the initials VD in there. So who knows? This was all the way back in March of this year. I mean, that's not so far ago that I shouldn't be able to remember what it was, but I don't remember what it was. But $8.25, not the best sale I've ever had, but whatever, it's gone. Texas Instruments TI, I'll just put on it. Okay, this is going to somebody named WEB in Arizona. I guess Arizona's kind of far from here because it seems like Arizona stuff is expensive for me, and I'm not sure why. It doesn't feel that far. Texas stuff is cheaper, feels cheaper. Okay, right here is a hat. This is probably a homemade hat. It's reversible, and it's made of this fabric that has a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on it. I guess it's like a biker's cap. I don't know what it is, but it has 1989 copyright on the fabric. So I bought a bunch of hats, and this was in that lot. And so I just gave it a shot, tried to sell it. I only paid 36 cents for it, and it took a little while to sell. This was all the way back in May of 2024 that I picked it up. I think I picked it up with a big lot of other hats, and this was just one that was thrown in there. So I only sold it for $10, $9.99. I thought it might be, I know like Ninja Turtles was a little bit past my time, you know, that wasn't a show that I was into, or comics or characters that I was into. But I know it's still popular and people are collecting those old toys and stuff. This box, look how crooked it is. It's not square at all. So I thought maybe there's one of those weird collectors who's gonna want this hat. I'm gonna have to tape this a little bit more than I'd like to because that box is out of whack. I guess technically this is not a rectangular box, and then UPS could charge me a awkward size box fee or whatever they call it. TMNT. This is very light, 6 ounces, 10 by 7 by 3. And I'm shipping this to MZ, in Chicago. So nice and close here. Chicago, Illinois. I don't know where this address is, but I'm not going to deliver it in person anyway. Okay, this is what I was talking about earlier when I was getting those other Fiestaware bowls ready to list. I have a whole set of these, 8 of them. And I'm hesitant to ship these. It's gonna take up a lot of space, and I have this double wall box, and I'm trying to think, is this gonna be big enough? And it's a little tighter than I would like, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. See what happens. So I have these heavy duty boxes, like nothing is gonna get through these. I just have to figure out how I'm gonna get these bowls in here, and I'm gonna have to probably combine 2 boxes together. This one I was kind of dreading packing because these 8 bowls, they need quite a bit of padding in between them. I do still have bubble wrap. I would like there to be more than just the bubble wrap in between them, but these bowls are not that good at stacking together. You know, if they stack together a little bit nicer, they wouldn't take up as much space, and I could put some cardboard padding in between each one, but these really only touch each other around the rims. So I think I'm going to do those 4 and then wrap it tight, and then I'll do the next 4, 2 separate bundles, and then try to fit them together somehow. I might do these in a box and then do a separate box and then combine the 2 boxes together. I think that's what I'm going to do. So this box needs paper in it on the bottom. Ow. And I'm gonna have to get a whole nother roll of bubble wrap. This is the end of this one. Spazzing out tonight. I just hurt my hand on that roll of paper and then throw this cardboard tube on the floor. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna need more bubble wrap than this. So let me do this and then I'll be right back with another roll. All right, I got a whole roll over here and I'll just try to use this. I'm gonna have to put it relatively, I'll have to be pretty generous with it, really. And then I've got probably 4 or 5 layers of bubble wrap on here right now. This tape. So let's tape this down and then see how it fits. It's pretty good. I mean, there is not as much air around it as I would like to fill up with more packing material to keep space around the outside, but I don't know. This maybe is not. This might be one that gets broken if I'm not more careful with this. I'm going to think this through a little bit while I'm working on it, and maybe I'll put another layer of cardboard, but I don't want it to get so expensive. I don't want it to get so heavy that it's too expensive to ship. You know, I'm using 2 of these boxes, and these boxes alone are pretty heavy, and those bowls are like obnoxiously heavy. We'll see. Once I get it all together the way I'm thinking about doing it, I will get a feel for what I think is happening and if it's going to be okay. So it could be fine. Okay, there's one down. Got another box, but first let's do the bubble wrap. Okay, that's only 1 sheet. I need 2 sheets of bubble in between each bowl. This stuff, I cannot find the perforations on this. It seems like you just start pulling and it should tear, but it never works. So just keep going. See, that one worked. That'll go in here. There's 2 of each color of these, so it's a set of 8. I probably should have done them in 4s, so I wouldn't have to be worrying about this packing situation. I feel like these have been listed for a long time. Let's see. Yeah, this is all the way back in August of 2023. So these I've been sitting on for a long time, longer than I would have liked. And they finally sold. I've got $16 into them. They finally sold for $67.19 for 8 bowls. Those other ones, the apricot colored ones that I was working on earlier today, those will probably sell for a set of 4 for $45. So hopefully I'll make $90 on those. As I hope I don't have to sit on them for 2 years. Okay, that's good. Now let's get more bubble wrap. I cannot find the perforation. I can't see it at all. There's one. It's almost impossible to see. This is American Bubble Boy bubble wrap. Usually you just pull it and it just comes into pieces. But this roll is giving me trouble. Maybe it's because it's on the outer roll, you know, the outside edge of a brand new roll. There it is. Okay, this one will get quite a few layers, just like the other one. And this will be number 5, and then we'll take another break and work on more listings for photos. I mean, photos for listings. I think I got like 12 things listed today already. Maybe more, maybe 16. I'm trying to get to at least 20 listings today, which for me is a lot. I don't know about other people, but I don't usually get 20 items listed in a single day. I'm putting these long pieces of tape on here, so when I do the other side, the tape crosses over itself, because these double wall boxes are heavy duty, and it's hard to keep the lids closed. Okay, paper, more paper. And this goes in there, and then we'll put a little more paper on the top. And then I'm going to take these 2 boxes together so they get shipped in one package. Should be like 17 by 9 by 9. Hopefully that's fine. I think that's fine. That's a fine size for the post office. Okay. All right. I have this tape that's like, what do you call it? It has fiberglass reinforcing running through it so that it's basically untearable, and hopefully I'll use that too. All right, I gotta fix this. Okay, I have this painting on the wall here, and I don't know why, but it's just falling down all the time. Like nothing's touching it, nothing's near it, and it's just like sliding around. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to do. These sides are flatter than the flap side, so I think I'm gonna stack these together like this. First, I'm gonna just put some normal tape on each side, just kind of to hold it in place until I can get this this fiberglass tape going on it, and that stuff will hold it very strong. Okay, there's not enough on this roll to do the whole thing, so I'm gonna have to pull another roll of this out for sure. I mean, there's not even enough to get started here. So I'll save this for another day and grab one of these rolls. I have 3 of these. This stuff is pretty expensive, so I try to only use it when I need to use it. In this case, I kind of need to use it. So it's impossible to tear it. You have to cut it, and you really have to cut it. Even cutting it is not that easy. So I'm going to try to wrap it all the way around until it comes into contact with itself, and then hit that to cut it. And I'm going to do another one this way, and that's it. There's going to be nothing tearing these boxes apart from each other. And I think that those bowls are going to be pretty secure like this. Even though there's probably less than an inch of padding around the outside, I think it's going to be fine because these boxes are intense. Okay, I'm going to buy labels for these and then come back to finish off. I'll go in the other room and do some more listing, and then when I'm done with that, I'll come back in here and finish off the next round. It should be, I think it's right now it's another 5 more, hopefully before then we get a couple more sales, and it'd be 7 or 6 or 7 more boxes to pack. We'll see how it goes. I'll be right back. Okay, I got photos of just about everything that I showed you early this afternoon at the beginning of this video. I think there's only like 3 things ready to go, or that still have to go. And one of them is the Hello Kitty backpack that needs a little bit of cleaning. And there's a shirt that it was a jacket, that Avis jacket. I'm gonna hang on to that and wait until I have less, I guess, have more patience, because, you know, listing clothes is a problem. So much work, and I don't like to do it. So I've got quite a few listings done today, and I'm pretty happy. And I got all of this stuff sold today, and I'm pretty happy with that too. So let's get the last round. 5 more packages. It's 9:49 right now, so 10 minutes till 10. There is, you know, real possibility that some more sales will come in that need to go out tomorrow, because eBay doesn't. The day on eBay, the official day, doesn't end until 2 a.m. Central Time here where I am. So I've got several more hours that more sales could come in. Okay, so yeah, let's get these last 5 items done. This is a Kermit the Frog stuffed animal from 1976, so pretty vintage. I'm not going to take him out of this bag. I'm going to leave him in here for his own protection. And I need some paper. Okay, good. This is a nice box. This guy sold. I got this for free. My niece found this. I told the story before where she found some stuff in a house. She bought a new house, and the previous owners left a bunch of stuff in the attic, including this Kermit the Frog. So it only sold for $28.99, but that's fine. It's a good sale. And let's see. Oh. Okay, so my friend Jason bought this. I would have given it to him for free. We just had dinner last night, and we were talking about eBay stuff, and he asked me what my what this YouTube channel was, and then that must have led him to my eBay page, and then he bought this Kermit the Frog. But I for sure would have given this to him for free if I knew he wanted it. So I'm gonna throw in some pins for him, and I guess a little thank you note, and tell him I would have given this to him if I had known he wanted it. I'm just going to use this tiny little card and write on here. I don't know when I'll see him again, so I probably could just hand it off to him, but I'm going to ship it just like any other business. All right, I'll just sign this and then put it in this box. I'm going to put this I'm going to tape this this little bag with these pins to this cardboard and put it inside here. Okay, so I don't usually include a lot of messages to buyers, but this is a friend of mine. Yeah, we just went to his house last night, him and his wife. Jessica and I went there and had a nice dinner. We don't get out that much like that, so it was pretty fun. So let's write Kermit on here. I'm gonna just put these initials on already. I know what they're gonna be. And let's get a weight on it. 1 pound. This is 11 by 9 by 7. 11, 9, 7, and that's it. So I've just ran out of tape on that box, so I need to go get a new roll of tape. I'll be right back. Okay, so after this, I only have 1 roll of tape left, so I'm gonna have to get on it and order some tape because that 1 roll won't last that long. Put that out of the way. Okay, thank you, Jason. I don't know if you're watching, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. And the next thing that's going is this hat. It's a Chicago Bears NFL hat, stocking cap. I'm not taking it out of this bag, but somebody was sending me some offers on this today. It's only listed for $9 because of the sale, and they were sending me $5 offers, and I was telling them, you know, I'm not gonna take an offer on this item. It's already on sale. And then they sent a $6 offer, and then I rejected that and told them the same thing. And then they finally just bought it at full price. And then they said, "Can you make sure to get it to me by Friday because we're going to a Bears game and I want to wear it at the game." And I hope it will get there in time, but there's no guarantees, especially at this time of year. I haven't had any issues so far with mail being slow. This is 10 by 9 by 2. I've had no issues so far this year with slow mail, so I don't know what's going on differently than usual. This is going to JK in Illinois, so that one's done. Then next, 3 more. This is just a baseball glove. I'm not sure who's buying a baseball glove in December, but somebody is. I can see this one is. These boxes have been put together wrong, but I'm gonna put it in this bigger one. This didn't sell for much at all, $9.79. I've had this glove for a long time. I bought it in October of 2023. I bought a whole bunch of baseball gloves at one garage sale, and there's still a few of them left. I have sold a number of them, but still have some hanging around, so hopefully they'll all sell. This is pretty cheap though, less than $10. I paid well, I guess I'm just making my money back on this. I paid $5.20 for this, so it's going to go in a box. I'm not putting any paper or anything in there. It'll be fine, and we'll get this out, and probably gonna make like $4 on this. Not even, probably $2, but whatever, it's gone. Glove, how much does that weigh? 1 pound 5, 2 pounds, 13 by 11 by 3. It's going to BS in Arizona, so it's probably going to be relatively expensive to ship that. The next thing is just a little wired doorbell by Zenith. I don't remember much about this. I got it at the Goodwill in June of 2024. I think I've maybe had 2 or 3 of those. This is the last one. I can't remember for sure, but I feel like I bought those in quantity of some kind. So yeah, this box is crooked like that last one. I'm just gonna make it work, even though it's not gonna work. I gotta get a different box. Both of these are broken. So let's go get another one. This one looks fine. We'll use this one instead. A lot of these boxes have put together wrong in the factory. I'm sure there's just a big machine that cranks these things out and nobody's really paying attention, but they need to have a conversation with the quality control department because I've had a lot of boxes. These I don't pay much for, but some boxes that I do pay for, they come and they're no good. Like, what am I paying money for this stuff? It needs to be useful to me. Okay. This one is going out. This one didn't go for much either, $12.74. I paid $3 for it. So what are we gonna make? $7 maybe? So we've had a lot of sales this weekend, but some of these are pretty low value. 12 ounces, 10 by 7 by 3, and they're going to CA in Virginia. Okay, one more, and this is a good one, I guess, a good sale. I just listed this yesterday. I listed 2 of these PXL 2000 cameras. This one has a bunch of accessories. It has the power cord, it has the original cassette, it has the RF modulator, tripod thing, and some manuals, paperwork. So I'm gonna wrap all of this stuff in bubble wrap. Try to keep this together and safe. So I just pulled this out of the death pile 2 days ago or yesterday maybe. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or 2 days ago, but I just pulled it out, got it listed. I opened the box and found 2 cameras in there, which I didn't even remember I had 2 of them. I sold one fairly recently, within the last year, and it took quite a while to sell. I think the other one I had probably took a year to sell, and this one just sold in 1 day. So maybe it's a Christmas gift. Who knows? But I'm happy to have a $150 sale today for something that's just been sitting in my closet for, I mean, I've been carrying this around. I knew I had 2 of them, and in the 90s I was thinking about using them to make some kind of movies. You know, these are these toy cameras that shoot on, it records on regular audio cassettes. So they were kind of popular for a while with like hipster filmmakers or whatever, and I kind of wanted to do something with them, but I didn't really have any idea. I never had a project in mind. So I've just been carrying them around probably for, I don't know, 30 years, maybe more. I always had it in the back of my mind that I could sell these. You know, I don't need a camera. I don't need a toy camera I'm never going to use. So I finally just decided, all right, that's it. I'm going to sell them. And I listed one, like I said, probably a year ago. Maybe it took more than a year to sell, I think. And then this one just sold in 1 day, so that's wild. So I got a second one that's a little bit cheaper because it doesn't have all of the accessories and stuff. So hopefully that one sells soon as well. And then they'll be all gone. I still have the empty box, and I'm thinking about trying to sell that just by itself. I took them all out of the box because it was not, the box was for a whole kit that has like the camera and a TV and a bunch of stuff with it, and I didn't have all of that other stuff. I just had the cameras. So I didn't want to sell the box with the camera, but now I think there's probably somebody out there who's a collector who might want just the box. So I'll consider that. I'll look into it and see if anybody's ever sold one. I don't want to get into trouble and somebody think they're buying a camera when they're really just buying a box. But putting it here in this box and sealing it up. So everything's in here, I think. All right, this is the last one of the night, so I'll get this one finished up. I'll buy all these last shipping labels, get everything entered into my spreadsheet, and then I'll come back and give you the whole breakdown of everything that's sold today as of 10 p.m. and how much each item earned and the total profit for yesterday and today. So yeah, we'll be right back to do that. All right, there we go. It's been a long day, so let's wrap this up quickly. I've got I have more than 3 full bags, 3 IKEA bags that I'm gonna have to leave out on my porch tomorrow for the carrier, and I'm feeling kind of bad because it's gonna be a lot of work for her. But I don't have any choice. This is how I have to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's look at the spreadsheet and we'll see what kind of profits we did in this 2-day weekend. All right, all the way back from the beginning, we wrapped up 7 L magazines that earned, those sold for $25. I got them for free. eBay fees were like $5.53. After all that stuff, we earned $22.03. The Deluxe Lives of the Saints book, the second thing we wrapped up, we earned $38.47. Striper CD, the Christian band, $8.20. We just did those light bulbs just now, but those were left over from yesterday. I hung on to those because they were out in the garage and I had to go get out and get them. So those earned $53.66. The House of Lloyd, it was a nativity set that I was going back and forth with this person on. $72.68. So that's a pretty good sale, even though it was less than I wanted. The Island Garden by Celia Thaxter. This is a book in a slipcase. $9.46. Ralph Lauren flannel shirt, $21.23. Conair clippers. Oh, this were the clipper parts, broken clippers that I just sold the replacement pieces, $9.87. Colors of Benetton perfume cologne, $29.09. The bowling shoes, some vintage bowling shoes, $19.20. The Hobbit, the 3rd edition, 36th printing of Tolkien's The Hobbit from 1966, sold and earned $63.22. So pretty good for that. Another CD, Lords of Black, $8.99. Coca-Cola string of lights to hang on your porch or whatever, your patio, $9.44. And then, what is this? Art glass, the Art Deco lamp shade thing. I looked that home up, and it looks like it's going to a guy who has a TV show, like a home repair TV show. So home renovation or home decoration. So maybe that will pop up on his show one of these days. Anyway, that brought in $50.07. So we got one more thing, the IKEA lamp. This is a hanging lamp, only $19.91 on that big box. But that's everything for Saturday. So total profit for Saturday, $435.48. So this is a pretty good day for me. I don't know that I've had an over $400 day in a little while. Oh, here's one from a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, pretty good. I'm happy with the results of that. Okay, so now we'll go on to today's sales, which started with a Game of Thrones complete 7th season, $11.60. Texas Instruments calculator, $7.06. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cap, probably homemade cap, $9.49. Brunswick Crown Jewel bowling ball, $20.26. That was going out to a viewer, I believe Brian. Is that right? Thank you, Brian. Set of 8 Homer Laughlin Fiestaware cereal bowls, $44.39. Vintage Kermit the Frog going to my friend Jason, $18.15. New Era Chicago Bears beanie hat winter cap, $7.28. The baseball glove, like I said, $2.10. And the Zenith doorbell, $8.33. Finally, Fisher-Price PXL 2000, $133.02. So today's profit, $261.68. There's still time. There is, let's see, 4 more hours of the day, and I would really like it if we got over $300 today. I'm shooting for a daily average of 270 for the month of December, and right now, even with that big sale yesterday and a couple bigger ones this month, we're at 256.29. So we need to bump that up just a little bit, and we need like just a handful of $300 and $400 days to make that happen. So 261.68, we're about $10 away from the target, the quota for each day. $9 away. It's like 273 is the number that we're supposed to be hitting every day, and we're at 261. So if we get one more sale today, that's $20 or $30, we'll be over that. But it'd be nice if we went over 300. Anyway, $255.88 average profit per day for the month of December. Right now, let's look at a different spreadsheet. Right now we are $4,854 away from the goal, $55,000 goal for the year. So we need to earn another $5,000 in the next 16 days, 17 days. I don't know if we can do it, but I'm just going to keep pushing and hope that we do. I think probably after the 20th, probably after the 17th, and maybe the 20th at the latest, things are going to slow down here as we head into Christmas season. The Christmas shopping season on eBay will be over, I think, by the 20th or the 21st. So I hope things don't slow down because we're still just under $5,000 away from our goal. So hopefully we can get there. If not, we're already past my secondary goal. So yeah, it's not going to be a bad year one way or the other. But if we can get another $5,000 before the end of the year, I will be very, very happy and proud. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I think this is probably going to be a long one. I haven't looked at all these videos together yet, so probably going to be an hour and a half or more by the time this video gets edited. So if you made it all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I'm going to be here. I will for sure be doing a video every single day until the end of the year, and then after January 1st, we'll make some decisions about what we're going to do for a recording schedule going forward. Maybe we'll stay doing every day. I don't know. So, okay, that's enough. It's been a long day. I'm ready for bed. Have a good night. I'll see you again soon.